Today we're here with Martha Clark and Nora Crist of Clark Farm and Clark's Elioak Farm to talk about their enterprises, how they overlap, and to also talk about multi-generational ownership and management.
All right, Clark's Elioak Farm was begun in 2002. It is a petting farm operation. We do educational tours, birthday parties, we have a fall pumpkin patch, and we're open April 1st through the beginning of November, and we're open 6 days a week, 10 to 5 every day that we're open. And we entertain families and children who come to visit us. They visit our animals, pet the goats and the sheep and the cows and the pigs and the chickens and the ducks and the turkeys and the rabbits, and and they take pony rides and hay rides, and you know, just have a good time seeing what life on a farm is like. And our other enterprise is Nora's business, which is Clark's Farm, and I'll let her talk about that one.
We raise and sell meats and vegetables directly to our customers right off the farm. We raise 100% grass-fed beef, pasture-raised pork, free-range chicken eggs. We also have a summer vegetable garden. We raise everything chemical-free. And we have a small CSA on the farm. And we have a vegetable stand that's roadside. We cut your own flowers behind it and cut your own herbs. And we are just trying to provide a local source of healthy meats for our community.
Both enterprises benefit from where we are. We are in the middle of the Baltimore-Washington corridor. We're 5 minutes from the Columbia Mall. There's probably 3 million people in half an hour of our place, and we have wonderful customers, and we're in a good central location where you know, we're not too far for people to come and find us, and that's, I think, one of the things that have made our businesses successful.
We definitely overlap some. A lot of the families that come to the farms want to expose their young children to animals and the farm life and learn about where their food comes from. And then we can provide that food straight from the farm. So some of that overlaps. And then we also have some people that are coming to the farm because they heard about our meat or vegetables and didn't realize that the petting farm was open to the public. So there's some overlap. But we market the meats and the vegetables mostly through our website, through social media, Facebook. We have some pamphlets out. We've been in this area for a long time. Our produce stand has operated on the side of the road for over 30 years. So just being that steady sweet corn stand for so many years has given us a pretty steady following. But the grass-fed beef is something that not a lot of people in Howard County are offering, so that's kind of been a niche market for us to put on our website. We're on websites like eatwild.com. That's really given us some draw from people outside Howard County who seek us out versus the people that are across the street that it's convenient to stop by because they're so close. We sell everything in our store right off the farm. Our store is also the entrance to our petting farm, so it's another reason the two overlap so well. Is on the way out you can grab some steaks, or you can come into the store to buy meats and learn about our petting farm without if you've never been there before. We're open year-round for the store. In the winter, only the store is open, the petting farm is not. And then in July and August, we have our roadside vegetable stand, which is just 500 feet closer to the road, so it's convenient for just picking up stuff and going. And that's open every day in July and August, 10 to 6. All the beef and pork that is sold by the cut must be processed at a USDA facility. So we send both of ours away to processors in the area who kill the animal and then package the meat so that when we get it back, it's frozen. We drive it straight home and put it right in the freezer. You can process chickens on your farm. That's something we've done in the past, but we aren't taking a break from it right now. So that's something you can process on your farm. But the beef and the pork, it's no question it has to be USDA approved.
Well, we have an on-farm processing license from the state, and the Howard County Health Department comes out and checks on our refrigerators and our freezers to make sure that they're all functioning properly, and we're doing what we need to do with them. And then Nora has the...
Our scales are checked
Yeah.
for weight and measurement.
Right.
And we have go to GAPS, which is Good Agricultural Practice, food safety training.
I've got the safe
safe
serve training,
yeah. We
which is
also,
required by the Howard County Health Department.
some of these licenses and classes are one time, but most of them are things that we follow up with every few years as regulations change. So we try to stay ahead or with the changing and current food safety.
And we have our water tested every year, and we of course do our nutrient management plan as required every year also.
Part of my customers maybe be in the 20-30 age range, my age. My generation is very interested in where their food comes from and local food. But some of them are getting to the point where they can afford to eat it on a regular basis. But I think most of my customers are young families, and then families whose kids have just gone to college, and it's just the two of them again, and they're finding their interests, and they're realizing that they are really want to know where their food comes from, and they want to support their neighbors and their local farm. I think there's kind of like in between when the kids are teenagers, I think everyone's very busy, and they don't have as much time to come out to the farm and shop. That's kind of my observation, but I don't talk to all my customers all the time. Maybe the ones that have teenagers, the ones that are in and out real quick, and I don't get to know them as well because they're in a hurry. But I try to, especially in the winter. I really enjoy. I'm the one that's there 12 to 3 all the time, and so I really get to know them a little bit better and learn their situation, which is fun. But I mean, we have a huge variety, I think.
Yeah, and at the petting farm, the people who come in on the weekdays, I call the stroller crowd. It's the moms with toddlers, and they might have gotten their, elementary school children off to school already, and they're looking for a place to entertain the children. Sometimes groups will meet there.
And bring a picnic lunch.
Yeah. And they usually come in, and we're busiest in the morning from about 10 to 12 or so, and a lot of times they'll go home and
naps.
Have lunch and take naps. On the weekends, we get an older crowd. Older children. So we'll get a wider range of children. Anybody who wants to spend a day outside, visit with the animals. And as I said, we do have special activities every weekend, so that draws in different people. We have gem mining at the farm, which is a very educational and a fun activity, and older kids enjoy that. So it's an interesting group of people that come, and but that's probably the most families with young children, you probably like 10 and below are probably the biggest crowd that come to the petting farm. I do some with the petting farm. There's several places where I do paid advertising. And throughout the year, I will pick and choose different places to advertise, if there's a special issue of one of these children's magazines on birthday parties or something like that, or on spring tours, or holiday or Halloween happenings or something like that, we'll put information out in those.
Our website is our base of operation. We try to have a lot of information on there so that when customers come to the site, they can find the petting farm information, hours versus the meat hours. For marketing for the meat, I have a newsletter list when I send out whenever we're stocked up in the farm This winter, I've actually been sending out a weekly email to let people know what cuts we have in stock, and I've had some feedback that that was helpful for people. They didn't have to come out in the snow or the rain or from a far distance if I was low on meat products. So that's been good, but that's helping the customers that I have. In order to get new customers, we spend a lot of time talking to people that come into the vegetable stand or to the petting farm. We have a sign on the side of the road that has brought a surprising number of people in who see grass-fed beef and come on in, and we start chatting, and they didn't realize they could just walk in and buy some meat anytime. And so that's been a surprisingly good way to market, since we have a very popular road that we're on. And I spend a lot of time on social media, on Facebook, just sending out pictures and fun tidbits from the farm and what's going on. People really respond to what I think is monotonous, my daily activity. If I post a picture of just doing my daily chores because there's a cute animal doing something, people really respond to that and get involved and share it with their friends, and maybe someone else learns about our farm.
In March, we post a picture of...
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do, don't we? How are we doing on that?
Fantastically.
We do a countdown to April 1st. Every day in March, we have something on the Facebook page about an animal, this animal, that animal, this baby that's just been born. You know, pictures of Milk Dud or Milky Way or cows out in the field.
Gets people excited and looking forward to seeing our animals again. We have some petting farm customers that have been coming since their kids were 6 months or a year old, and they remember some of our animals, so it gets them excited to look forward to that. Or have their kids' first ride on Captain Jack, and so they kind of prep for that.
Yeah, so we do things like that, you know, to get people excited about our opening. And as we said before, we're on Future Harvest's website and Eat Wild website, so people pick us up. The Grazers Network, you know, those kind of things.
And for the petting farm, you're on some kid websites.
Yeah, I have a week, every weekend we do something special at the petting farm, and so I put that information out on the calendars of every child newspaper, magazine that's in this area. So we get the information out that way too.
Our main job in the off-season is to take care of all the animals. All the petting farm animals move to different places on the farm, different fields, to give the fields of the petting farm a rest, gives them better shelter, bigger barns for the winter, easier access for us to get to them from our houses if we have bad weather, ice or snow. It's been a rough winter, so this winter's been a lot of trudging around in the snow and carrying water buckets, which fills up more time than you think. And since our store is now open Saturdays 12 to 3 in the winter, we've been processing meat throughout the winter. I've been pricing it, carrying it all around the farm, and then we've seen a steady increase in business this winter compared to last winter. So that's really kept me busy answering emails and meeting people at the store and having their meat ready for them.
There's lots of, you know, fences to fix and roads to smooth out, and you know, painting and sanding and cleaning the store and getting it ready and moving all the animals over, having the vet check them out. All of that needs to be done before we open up on April 1st. And other than October, which is our busiest month because of the pumpkin patch and the more school tourists come in October than any other time of the year, March is really our busiest month because of all the work it takes to get the petting farm opened up. Well, it's a big job. There's 540 acres in our combined farms, and the petting farm probably takes up about 20-25 acres, and we pasture the cattle and the pigs in different parts of the farm. We have a farm manager who helps manage the animals, and Nora does all of the vegetables, and she's just hired a new employee, a full-time employee who will help her do that.
Big step, but we want to expand that operation some, and I need the help to do it. We've got about 2 acres of vegetables in production, include flowers and herbs behind the corn stand. And then we've got the petting farm animals that we take care of too. The farm itself is a lot of work, but we manage it on, a few staff. We have a lot of part-time help that helps with the petting farm and entertaining the children, educating them.
Yeah, there's a large staff that works at the petting farm, but it's all seasonal and part-time. But there's someone in the store all the time, obviously. There's at least 3 or 4 people at the petting farm all the time it's open. And the cashier and someone managing the animals and someone doing the rides and that kind of thing. So there's a lot involved in keeping all of that straight. We opened up the petting farm when Nora was 12, and so she's worked her entire life at the petting farm. But when she went off to college, she wasn't planning on coming back to work here necessarily. She wasn't sure what she wanted.
I thought I would want to be outside and with animals, but I didn't see coming back here immediately. I thought I had other interests, but I ended up coming back and working at the produce stand a couple summers during college and realized that it wasn't the end of the world. Maybe I was pretty lucky to have this great farm to come back to in such a great location. And I thought that I thought about it for a while, and I enjoy the petting farm, and I do work at the petting farm, and we set up some things that I would be responsible for there, but I needed a niche for myself. I needed something that, almost something I controlled, if that's a proper word, so that's why I wanted to take over the produce stand. That was something where it was seasonal, so I could take a break from the petting farm, I could focus on my own things for a little while, and then come back to the petting farm when it got busy again in October. And then it kind of grew from there. I ended up with chickens and pigs and things, which I didn't see coming either. But I think it works really well because we spent some time working together, and the petting farm is a priority. But I also have my side projects, which have gotten bigger and become my own business, but that I could focus on and make calls on and be in charge of, even though I go back to her for a lot of advice. But I needed that kind of independence in order to feel like I was earning my keep and having my place on the farm.
Yeah, officially Nora is the petting farm manager at the petting farm. So she is in charge of all the animals. She makes sure that they get to the petting farm at the beginning of April, and that we have a good selection of animals, and she makes sure that they all stay well and happy over there.
We have a day-to-day person, or a couple of day-to-day people that we hire, and it's my job to train them and make sure they're taking care of the animals on a day-to-day basis, and they call me if they have questions, but I don't have to be there anymore I check on them at least twice a day, but I don't have to be there the entire open period anymore. Right. I can go focus on something else.
And then, of course, everybody works at the petting farm in October because that's our busiest time. But the rest of the time, Nora's business is a separate entity, a separate business, and I started the beef operation, but then turned that over to her. So she takes care of all of that now. And it's worked out very well, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
your job, your business is your business, and my business is my business. But I help you, and you help me.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does. I think, we are farmers, and it doesn't matter whether we're male or female. We just, have this farm to operate, and we do it. But I think it's. I don't think people care whether we're male or female. But I think that in producing the food, I think that people appreciate what Nora has to offer from a perspective of working with the animals in maybe a different way, and providing information on nutrition and how to prepare the food and that kind of thing. Not that men can't do that too, but I think she has a perspective on that's very helpful.
It's not all women that shop. There are plenty of men that shop in our store, but it is, you do connect with your female shoppers a little bit when they're home cooking. I can explain things to them, and so there is some connection there for sure.
10 years ago, I was a lot more pessimistic about that than I am now. I'm just delighted by the fact that people like Nora, young people, seem to be coming back to the farms or coming to the farms for the first time. Now, whether the big question is whether they're going to tough it out and whether they will be here 10 years from now, or whether this is just something to do for 5 years or something before they go off and do something else. But I'm just so excited by the fact that there are young people who seem to be very interested in farming, and I believe that you can make a living farming a small piece of property if you farm it intensively, and if you have a market that you can provide the food to. There is a tremendous market out there. We haven't even, we don't produce enough to even begin to supply restaurants. There's schools, there are institutions, there are hospitals. All of those markets exist out there, and there's not enough locally produced food for any of them yet. So I think that there's still a very large market that needs to be met, and I hope that there are enough young people coming into farming, either coming back to their farms who didn't. Nora, when she started thinking about what she wanted to do, didn't think about this as an option.
I didn't really see it as one.
Yeah.
And no one ever. My grandfather was retired, and petting farm didn't exist. I don't know, at an impressionable age for me. I didn't start till I was about 12, and I just didn't see people working on the farm full time. It was what they did on the weekends and in retirement. I didn't see it as a career option, which was strange. I don't understand why I don't know why I had that in my head for so long. But yeah, that's not, doctor, lawyer, those are careers you rattle off. And now I see farmers being one of those, but it didn't seem an option for whatever reason.
So I am optimistic. I could be wrong, but I've always been a Pollyanna, so no use stopping now. I'm very optimistic about our farm. We intend to continue to do what we do.
It's all in preservation.
Yeah, it's all in preservation. We have, started making the necessary plans to move it on to the next generation. And, the state taxes are, the bane of all of our existence. But, hopefully they'll be eliminated. In the meantime, you just have to plan for them. And, we are doing that, and, hope to be doing this 20, 30 years from now on my part, and 50, 60 years from now on Nora's part, and have a grand dog that hasn't figured out that she wants to take it over yet. But other than
I think she'll come around. She sees the value in those marrow-bones.
Yeah.
Payment. She's easy.
Do it, but realize that it's a tremendous amount of work, and it's a big challenge, but it's very rewarding.
Be realistic about, not that you'd be giving up anything, but be realistic about what is involved, and but it's totally worth it. I love the people we work with, the people who work for me and with me, and the people that come to the farm every day. It's a happy place. It's really nice to have people come in and spend the day with you, and on their way out go, oh, we just had the greatest time. This was so much fun. Little Johnny, got to pet the goat and hold the chicken, and he can't wait to come back. And this is really a fun place. This is a farm that we were both born and raised on, and we love it. We love this farm. We love that we're able to hold on to it.
And we love that we can share it with people. And every day is different. And that's interesting too. I like being my own boss. And Nora does too.
I never thought I would. I saw both of my parents growing up running their own businesses, and I said, not for me. That you never turn off, and look where I ended up. Yeah, but I didn't think I would, but I enjoy running my own business. I enjoy the flexibilities, but also I realize some days I can choose to work only a few hours, and then some days you must work all of the hours. But I really enjoy the just something different every season, every day. You know, we're having some babies born this time of the year, and it just kind of breaks up the winter. It's been long and cold and hard, and now I have babies to play with and a garden to plan. I really like kind of changing with the seasons. It kind of breaks it up and makes you appreciate each one a little more.